In Acts chapter 2, we see the disciples all gathered together on what day? Well, they say in Greek here, the day of Pentecost. Did you know that was one of the 7 commanded festivals in the Bible that were listed in Leviticus 23 for the children of Israel and those who join to them, any foreigners who join to serve Father, those are the festivals for them to keep forever. And so this feast right here, the day of Pentecost, is 50 days after the Feast of First Fruits. Now, remember, the word for feast in Hebrew, the word feast, is not like a joyful eating time. It's not like a whole bunch of food. It means moed. It's an appointed time. It's an appointment. So Yeshua rose on the Feast of First Fruits, which was 50 days before the Feast of Shavuot, is what we call it in Hebrew. Pentecost, this is the number for 50 in Greek. So they know it's 50 days after Feast of First Fruits. So in the Greek language, they went Pentecost. In Hebrew, we call it Shavuot, Feast of Weeks. So there's 7 weeks, 7. Sorry, I got cut off there with the 7, but I was just saying we do 7 weeks. Here, I'll show you where that's at. In Leviticus 23, it says, "And you shall count for yourselves from the day after the Sabbath." Now, this is the weekly Sabbath during the week of unleavened bread, which is the day Yeshua rose. Remember, he rose on the first day of the week. During the week of unleavened bread, he was 3 nights and 3 days after Passover that he rose from the dead on Feast of First Fruits. Okay, so let's just look at this, though. So you count for yourselves 50 days from that day, from the Feast of First Fruits, okay? From the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering. That's Feast of First Fruits. We brought the first of our barley harvest. 7 Sabbaths shall be completed. So 7 weeks. That's where we get this. Now, we count 50 days to the day after the 7th Sabbath. Then you shall offer a new grain offering to Yahweh. Well, that's Pentecost, or what we call actually in the Bible, Feast of Weeks, Shavuot. So when it says in Acts chapter 2 that they were all gathered together in one accord, that's because, and remember, there's people from all over the world. Different Gentiles were there as well. Well, why were they there? Because it was a commanded festival of God. So why would the tongues, the languages that came down and, descended on the Holy Spirit descended on the disciples in the form of fire, and they started speaking the language of the others, so everyone heard the gospel in his or her own language? That's because everybody who served Yahweh was expected to come to Jerusalem for the Feast of Pentecost, or Shavuot is what they would have called it. And therefore, that's why the gospel was being preached to all the people from all around the world who served Yahweh, and they heard the gospel in his own tongue, his own language. And remember, this event was writing the law on our hearts and minds. Right here, he was going to give us the Spirit to cause us to walk in his statutes and keep his judgment. And right here in Jeremiah 31, it says that the Holy Spirit would write the law on our hearts and minds. That is the new covenant. Now remember, the law was given to Israel on Mount Sinai on Shavuot, and we get the law within us on Shavuot again. This is beautiful. So today, remember the Torah, celebrate Yah. I love you all.